now we're down to our final topic. Our final topic of what has been a very pleasant discussion. A very pleasant discussion. And the final topic involves, interestingly, HBO Max. Because HBO Max had a rough launch. We all know that. I mean, some streaming services, when you launch a big one, it's always going to have like a big problem. But to not have the thing on Roku or Amazon TV, that seemed kind of strange. And then, of course, this Gone with a Win thing hit. Well, one of the controversies or one of the confusions of HBO Max was when it came out, I think most people thought that when HBO Max came out, that was going to render the other HBO apps useless. Like, there'd be no reason to have HBO Go anymore. Mm-hmm. And there'd be no reason to have HBO Now anymore. But they didn't do that. Those apps still exist. And it just confused people. It confused me. It confused everyone. Like, once you had to actually start explaining to people what the differences in the apps are, it seemed like that was like a huge fail. Well, it seems like AT&T are doing something to ease the confusion because they are doing some rebranding. I'm not entirely sure if this is 100% successful, though. But here's the thing, and the headline says it all. HBO Max is replacing HBO Go. So HBO Go is no more. Here's the odd thing. HBO Now is being rebranded as HBO. So instead of there being HBO Go, HBO Now, and HBO Max, there's now going to be HBO Max and HBO. Just a quick question from your end. Does this make it any less confusing to you?
In the initial run, no. I think it's going to be. It might actually be more confusing, in the beginning.
Right. Now, some of you might be asking, okay, so what's the difference between these two? Well, HBO has all the HBO content and is obviously provided to premium cable subscribers. HBO Max has all the HBO content plus Warner Media content. So now my question, I don't even know why they're doing this. Like, why are they doing it? Why don't they just have one app for all of this? Like, what? Like, no kidding, Sherlock. Why wouldn't you just go with HBO Max under that circumstance? Like, do you know what this is about?
I mean, the way that you just described it, and I haven't read up a whole bunch on it myself. Yeah, well, you might as well just have one. Yeah, why have more than one? I mean, Netflix just has, one main one, right? Hulu has one main one. Why do you have to have multiple ones that, have the same content? Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And, HBO Max is also more and more confusing because it also has hubs in the app. Do you have HBO Max?
Yeah. No.
You don't? Okay, so let me explain. So when it comes to hubs and HBO Max, you get down to a section and it's called hubs. And they have different companies. It has like HBO and Adult Swim and Cartoon Network, Crunchyroll, DC Universe, Turner Classic Movies. They have all the Sesame Workshop. They have all of these different hubs for their content, which I actually kind of like that. But then it's like you look at even more and it's like even ignoring the HBO Max thing. Okay, so you have a section for Crunchyroll, but there's also a Crunchyroll app, and that's a separate subscription. And you have a section for DC Universe, but there's also a DC Universe app, and that's also a separate subscription. But some of that is here. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly, I don't know. There's a reason this is the last topic and because it's a fun one. Like, what? This isn't making a whole lot of sense. I would think that with HBO Max, they would want to consolidate all of this into one at some point. But, with the news that, yes, they're getting rid of HBO Go, but they're not getting rid of HBO Now. They're just rebranding as HBO. I don't know what they're doing. I think this is bound to be confusing for a very, very long time for people.
Yeah, I would agree. If I'm, going through the hub and I'm seeing HBO, HBO, trying to figure, okay, at first not knowing. I mean, I know now because you just what the differences are. But for somebody who doesn't know, it's like, yeah, at first glance, which one,
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that's like the fun story today, folks. That's HBO, that's AT&T, Warner Media, whoever. That's just them being them, I suppose. So we'd like to know what you think about this. So you know the drill. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and with that,